my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits, and welcome to my FlossTube. I have to keep this episode short because time has gotten away from me, so let's get started. So the first thing I want to mention in this fortnight's episode of my FlossTube is that I don't have any new things in my shop from this past 2 weeks. I was focusing on the teacher gifts, to be honest, and just enjoying stitching my current works in progress. I let myself have a break, basically. But I have a bunch of plans for future designs and future projects, so there is that at least. In saying that, let's dive right into works in progress. I want to start with my design works in progress that I have. I don't have anything to physically hold up and show you, but I want to put them on the screen. So I need to bring them up first because I need to remember what I'm talking about. So the first thing is actually 3 things, and that is 3 fonts that I have been playing around with, and I've kind of gotten the whole alphabet, both upper and lowercase, for all 3 of them. 2 of these I've been working on for months, and one I smashed out in 1 or 2 days. I can't remember which one's which, to be quite honest, but they're likely going to be my next 3 fonts. Not necessarily all at once and not necessarily anytime soon, but I am definitely going to work on choosing one and turning it into an actual stitching font. I will have put the fonts up. Let me know which one you like the best in the comments, whether it's the first, the second, or the third one. I think the one that has gotten the most popularity, because I posted these on social media last week, the one that got the most popularity was the first one that I will have put up here, which is interesting. I would have thought the second one, to be quite honest, but that's kind of why I made the post. I wanted to know what people thought, so that's really good information, but more data points is helpful and useful. So yeah, let me know what you think of those fonts. That would be really helpful. The next design that I've been working on, I also put on social media, and I did it as my time-lapse video that Procreate automatically makes. Just every frame is one action, if that makes sense, in Procreate. So this one will be called Free Action, and it reads, "Crying is a free action. It's based on Dungeons and Dragons, and when you roll dice, when you roll a d20, or specifically a d20 in this case, but any dice, and you get a 1, that's usually a bad thing, and characters in the game get these things called free actions that they have so many they can do before they have to have a rest in their story. One of those free actions in this joke design is crying, where you would just, I don't know, sit down and just bawl your eyes out. That's the joke. I really like the potion bottle that I drew in this design. It's so juicy. I really like it. I'm not sure about the scroll, so that might get scrapped. I do want to put something there in its place if I do scrap it. But this is a pretty busy design. I am thinking about trying to reduce it in complexity a little bit, but I really like where it's at right now, and I've left it and I've been sitting on it, and yeah, it'll likely be the next cross-stitch pattern that I stitch and release. I don't know when though, because the weeks are going so fast. And the third thing and the last thing with the design works in progress is another cross-stitch pattern that really doesn't also look like a cross-stitch pattern, because, I mean, that's the point. They're detailed sketches, these 2 cross-stitch pattern designs. I put what's in my head onto the tablet and then work from that to turn it into pixel art, which can be really easy and sometimes it can be really tricky. Anyway, this one will be called Thoughtful Insult, and it reads, "I hope you have the day you deserve." This one's not finished. There's a bit of empty space at the bottom left that I'm not happy with, and the leaves are really plain and boring, but the idea is there. So that's the main thing. The idea is there. I am thinking I will potentially use some of the flower designs that I've already designed as pixel art in my adulting series. Thanks, computer. And repurposing those into this piece, so the flowers might look completely different. I'm not entirely certain, but it is purely just a vessel for the snarky comment. It makes me laugh. So let me know what you think of those two potential future cross-stitch pattern designs. That would be great. Moving on to stitching works in progress, I want to start with the one that is my thumbnail image for this floss tube, and that is Lola Crow Cross Stitch's current stitch along, which is called Museum After Midnight. And I am officially ready for part 1. I have done all of the cross stitching and I've done all of the back stitching. I am ready. So I believe I have 3 weeks to wait now. I'm going to look it up because I'm curious. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 weeks today until part 1 is released. So I'm ready, and I have been focusing on this work in progress in the last fortnight. If you watched last episode, you can probably tell, but yeah, I've done a lot on this. I don't really, I don't enjoy the frame of Lola Crow's Lola Crow's stitch-alongs, but there was just something about this one that really made me want to smash it out as quickly as possible before the first part came out. But yeah, so it's ready, and I really like the fossil. I will show you that. I'll move my light so you can see it a bit better. There's the fossil, and I've anchored hopefully these down, the strings. I've hopefully anchored them down really well. I put them in, or I put the piece into this before I stitched those. I looped the strand of thread like around the fabric at each end point, so it shouldn't get too bendy. I'm kind of in the mindset of, if it does mess up, I'll just redo it. That's not a big deal. I'll just stitch it at the end. Hopefully I remember. But no, they should be fine, especially when it's tight. This middle one's a little loose, but it should be good. So let me know what you think. If you are working on this one too, let me know where you're at in the frame, and if you think you will be ready for part 1 when it comes on the 5th of June. Oh my gosh, June. I like the little pop of color on it too. So there's that one. And honestly, this one I'm actually gonna zip up and put down here so that it's kind of out of the way, because I don't need to look at it for 3 weeks. So that one won't be in next FlossTube. I was thinking about that as I was finishing it off, that if I could get it done before I record today, then when I record next FlossTube, I won't have done anything. So anyway, my next work in progress, I've just realized I left my flowers downstairs. Maybe I'll, because I'm really short on time, I will talk about that now, and I will put over a video. So I am caught up with my flower field, and I noticed that today's flower has the exact same flower, both color and shape, is the flower above it, which I thought was funny. I'm still really bleh about keeping up with working on that, which is frustrating, to be quite honest. I'm getting there. Like, I'm staying up to date. I'm doing it. I'm doing every 2 weeks so that I can say during my floss tubes that I am caught up, and that is enough for me right now. I'm hoping that I will be motivated to do it again every day later in the year or something, but right now it works and it looks really cool. So that's my flower prairie. Moving on to my next work in progress. It is Ancient Tales by Needle Lot Designs, and I'm really close to being finished this one. So I worked on this one a lot as well in the last 2 weeks. All I have left to do on this piece is the white, and that's it. Everything else is done. There's a fair bit of white. There's like some in here, some here and here, and then the candles. And then I think that is basically it. So it's like, I'll take back what I said. There's not a huge amount of white to go. It looks really cool. Oh, and then there's like 1 square of white in the flames too. But isn't that super cute? This one I'm definitely gonna frame up in a hoop. I don't know what size hoop yet. I haven't thought of that, but I want, righto, I want to hang this one up. I usually keep the pieces that I stitched and have framed properly of other designers' works. I put them like here, so you can see the corner of this one. But there's one up here, and there's one here, and there's one all the way at the top. So this one might join those. I've got a lot from other designers. I don't understand. I had someone, this is a tangent. I had someone ask me a while ago, like a little while ago, why do I work on other people's patterns? Like, why do I stitch other designers' stuff when I design my own patterns? I'm like, I didn't respond, but I was like, why wouldn't I? I love cross-stitching, and sometimes I don't want to be stitching something where I have to analyze every square. I just want to follow the pattern and trust the process, and I do make changes sometimes, like with this one. This one is by, oh my gosh, Pigeon Coop Designs. It's got, oh man, it's got a scratch on the frame. So I changed the color of these two butterflies because they were all supposed to be pink. I'm pretty sure. They were all supposed to be one of those colors, but I pulled the colors from the flowers down the bottom and changed two of the butterflies. Like, I can do that. Why wouldn't I do that if I want to? Why can't I? Yeah, I don't know. It definitely irked me a little bit. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way, I guess, but it was an interesting question. So yeah. Anyway, my last work in progress is the funny one that I talked about last FlossTube, and it's still not the best. It's still really lame, but this one is Flossie Fox Shop's cat dragon house, and I've been working through the black still, which matches my nails. Yeah, there's more stuff. That's a window, to be clear. That's a window. So that's a thing you can see, but a lot of the things are eyes. So eyes, eyes, face, like eyes and nose. These are lamps. This is like the pointy bit of the house as like an attic window. So yeah, and a picture frame. Anyway, that's a work in progress, technically. It's not a lot, but it is what it is. So there was a few works in progress that I was surprised when I was collecting everything that wasn't active for this past fortnight. So hopefully next FlossTube I've got heaps to share because I have finished the Museum After Midnight frame. We'll see what happens. The next thing that I want to talk about is some haul that I got. I have a picture to show you because I was impatient again and I put them places, but I got some things from the Grey Muse, which are some enamel pins and some stickers. I've put the enamel pins on here. So there's one, and then there's the 3 flowers. And I am debating on whether I want to turn them into needle minders or not. I did get them with the intent of turning them into needle minders, but her pins, I remembered after I ordered, her pins are really thick, and the magnets that I have aren't necessarily strong enough to pull the needle through the enamel pin, like face, to the magnet. So it works to attach to the fabric, but it doesn't work very well as a needle minder. But they're really pretty, and I am glad that I bought them. I just have been not sure about whether I want to try turning them into needle minders or not. So yeah, and I got some stickers, which will be in the picture as well. And I've put a bunch of them on my laptop. I wanted to actually share a picture of my laptop cover because it makes me smile. And my desk setup, I should take a picture of my desk when it's tidier, or at least tidy it and then take a picture, because I get to see the top of my laptop when I am at my desk, and that just makes me happy. I want to talk about some things that have happened on my website. As I mentioned, there are no new things in my shop this fortnight, which is fine. I was giving myself a break, but I do have new blog posts on my website. One of them is teacher appreciation gifts for this year. It's just the 2 that I shared that I finished last FlossTube, and I make a post just to show them as a portfolio kind of thing on my site. So those are up, and I'm currently working on and plan on publishing today a post about backstitching because I saw it as a good excuse for the Museum After Midnight because it had a bunch of really long backstitching things. And so I took like before and after pictures to talk about the joys of backstitching. So I don't have a title for that just yet, but that'll be there and there will be a link in the description to go to that. The other thing that's new on my website is I have a cross-stitch fabric calculator, which I have been wanting to do for such a long time, and I found a site that helps you create calculators for your own website. I fiddled with it because you could just play around with it in a free version, and it made exactly what I wanted. So there is a calculator now to work out the size of the fabric that you want for cross-stitching. Hooray! I would love it if you could check it out. There'll be a link in the description. And if I've missed anything, I can do some adjusting and add that into the calculator. So I would love your feedback, please. That would be amazing. But let me know what you think of it if you do give it a try. That would be great. And the last stitchy thing that I want to talk about is I am finally doing the giveaway for this book, Fantasy Cross Stitch, which is by Needle Lot Designs. This is where Ancient Tales pattern came from, which is there. I'm giving away this book, like this exact book, because my copy of it is up there. I will link to the post for that giveaway because I'm wanting to kind of like make sure all of the entries get bundled up for me to draw the random winner easily. Go and check it out, please. I just noticed that there is comments from Flossie Fox Shop and Stitch Sprout on the back. I didn't even notice that last time, so that's awesome. I love that. Anyway, this is an amazing book. She does fantastic designs. Go check out the giveaway. It's really easy to enter. So, talking about things that have happened in my personal life. There have been a few things. One was my grandpa unfortunately passed away in these last 2 weeks, which is my mum's dad. He had health complications and we were expecting it. I was really sad that I couldn't go to Australia for the funeral. Even just me, not my entire family. But we were lucky enough that technology is a thing and we could watch a live stream of the funeral itself. So that was really special, and I don't usually cry at funerals or because people have passed away. I don't really understand why. I know that it's sad, but it's never really affected me like that I can recall anyway. But I cried at the end. And I confused my eldest, and my youngest saw me wiping away tears, and she came over and gave me a nice hug, which was very sweet. But yeah, it was technically my kid's first funeral, and it was a very unorthodox one in a way. So yeah, so that's sad. What else has happened? I had my assessment for autism in these past 2 weeks. I was told I have to wait a bunch of time for the results, which is fine. But one thing that I was told during the assessment was that I have a very strong visual ability, which I kind of knew, but it was nice to hear. I took it as a compliment for sure. I did definitely feel that way when I was doing the problems and solving the things. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I have no idea if I am on the spectrum or not, but time will tell. I'm seeing it as whether or not I do, it's nice to know who I am. If I don't, cool, then I know I don't. If I do, cool, then I know I do. Yeah, but genetics are pointing to yes. The last thing that happened in these last 2 weeks was Mother's Day, which was lovely. I got to have my TV just turned on, and that was my alarm to warn me that I've got to wrap up. The TV was listening to me. It says the last thing that happened to me in the last 2 weeks was Mother's Day. That's creepy as hell. I hate that devices listen to us all the time. That is Not cool. Anyway, Mother's Day happened. I got a relaxing day where I mostly just sat on the couch and stitched, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I got to have some red velvet cake, which is like my favorite cake ever. And I got some beautiful flowers and some Lego sets because I asked as a present for Mother's Day for some Lego sets. And I've already built one of them. I am likely going to build the other one soon because I love Lego. It's so much fun. It's fun to build stuff. So yeah. And that's it. That's everything that happened. And I'm not going to sit here and ponder, did I forget things? Because if I did, it was not important. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Please don't forget to check out the links in the description and comment your thoughts on those things, to like the video if you did like it and subscribe if you're not already. And until next time, I will see you around the internet. Bye.